I would like to say good afternoon to everyone. I need to say before we start our forum, Candace Forum, that we're having technical difficulties with our sound system. If you have Optimum, there's no sound. If you have Fios, you do have sound. When we repeat this Candace Forum starting on Monday, April 30th, they will be both sound and picture. So thank you very much. I would like to start this afternoon. Good afternoon to everyone, and welcome to our third and final part of the three-part series of the Council at Large Candidate Forum, which is sponsored by the Patterson Municipal Council. I am Ruby Cotton, Council President and Councilwoman of the 4th Ward. I will be your moderator for this afternoon. The purpose of the forum is to formalize the at-large candidates in the upcoming municipality election on Tuesday, May 8th. 2018, and for you, the viewers, and the voters to hear their platform or views on which they are seeking to be elected to fill the office of Council at Large. This afternoon, we are hosted the final 4 of the 14 at-large candidates. However, in the municipality election on May 8, 2018, you will be able to vote for 3 candidates. The candidates form today who are vying to be elected to the office of Council at Large are follows: Flavio Rivera, Davon Roberts, Juan Santiago, and Shelley Thomas. Please use this forum to familiarize yourself with the candidates as well as to the listening of the viewers. As moderator, I will strictly enforce the time allotted to each candidate, maintain decorum and discipline, and will intervene in an event of any deviations from the spirit and the purpose of this forum. I must ask that all candidates show respect and courtesy to each other. The order of the forum is as follows. Each candidate will have 5 minutes to present their opening statements, and it will be done in alphabetical orders. Each candidate will be permitted to ask the other candidates 3 questions in only 1 round. This responding candidate will have 2 minutes to answer to the response. There will be absolutely no rebuttal by any candidates, whether you are the one asking or responding to the question. Candidate will also have 5 minutes to wrap up or give his closing remarks. I am accompanied today by our municipal clerk, Ms. Sonia Gordon, who will be our timekeeper, and 2 of her staff members, Ms. Joan Campbell Douglas and Ms. Paula Ruse. Thank you all for participating, and we will now begin the forum. I will begin with our first candidate, Flavio Rivera, who will introduce himself and present his opening remarks. Mr. Rivera, please.
Good afternoon to all the viewers. I want to thank you for putting this forum together, Madam President and Madam Clerk. To the viewers, I want to thank you for taking the time to do your research and make an informed decision, an important decision, because we as council members make decisions that affect you on a daily basis. For those who don't know much about me, as stated previously, my name is Flavio Rivera. I am currently your county treasurer. I've been your county treasurer for about 3 years. I've been attending council meetings for approximately 12, 13 years, where I've seen a lot of things go on that should not go on in city government. I decided to run because we cannot continue to do business the way we've been doing business in this city. Throughout times, I have seen many irresponsible budgets being approved. I will go up in the podium and, to basically inform the council of all these areas that are, overstated, given that this is what I do every day for a living, being county treasurer and being one of the 2 certified municipal finance officers in the city of Patterson. Those irresponsible budgets that I just mentioned continue to have tremendous tax increases, but not just the tax increase. It didn't reflect the services that we all deserve as residents, and we have to change that culture that we have here. In order to understand what has happened in this city, you got to understand the history, which as stated I have by watching all these meetings throughout all these years. I don't want to keep reminding you about bad news, but I wonder if you guys remember the 29% tax increase that we had a few years back, where we had to lay off 400 officers, 400 staff members, of which 125 were police officers. In order to know what actually took place, you got to understand how government finance works, which I have 14 years. I knew that was going to take place because the mechanism that was used, the method in which the previous year budget was used, led to that 29% increase. I also remembered in 2016 how the council at the time asking the administration to reduce a tax levy that the residents could no longer absorb. And my opinion, and this is my opinion, it turned into a political thing, because when you have almost a $300 million budget and the council asks you, the administration, to reduce a budget because our taxpayers are being overtaxed, and you decide to cut $200,000 from a recreational budget and end the summer program for recreation 2 weeks early, that is just bad practice. It is bad. It's not good for the community. It's just bad. Under our former government, I hear council all the time stating that they're just the legislative body. But we're not just the legislative body. We could also take alternative and measures. Under a former government, we could actually change any line item in the budget that we wish. So knocking on doors out there and talking to people, I notice how a lot of the ordinances don't get enforced. That leads to dirty streets. We have to change the culture. Dirty streets, we have an issue with public safety in the city. Our resources need to be monitored from the council end also. Yes, the administration is responsible for putting the budget together and every other financial tool that we have in place, but it is the responsibility of the council to approve those budgets. The budget, I can continue to say throughout the years, the budget is not just dollars and cents. It determines the level of service that we're going to be providing to our residents. I notice when you start looking at different cities, how we pay as much tax as any other city, but we don't get the services that we deserve here. We don't get the same level of services as other cities. And we need to start demanding more as residents and as council members. I promise you, when elected, I'm going to take a proactive approach. I'm going to use the 14 years of experience that I have working with municipal budgets and having a broad understanding of everything related to city government. And I'm going to start working with the rest of the council and the administration to make sure that the decisions we make is in the best interest of the community, leaving politics aside. I've shown that throughout the years, coming here to the council meetings, doing extensive research. I will use every ounce of knowledge that I have, that I've gained through my work experience and through watching these council meetings and through the research that I have done throughout the years to make sure the city moves in the right direction. After analyzing the current budget that we have currently, we have increased our debt from $8 million to $16 million in 4 years. So where are the check and balances? I'm running because we need check and balances in government, and I'm going to be that candidate that bring that forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Rivera. Our second candidate will be Davon Roberts, who will introduce himself and present his opening remarks. Mr. Roberts.
Good afternoon, Patterson. My name is Davon Roberts, 14B on your ballot. Born and raised here in the city of Patterson's 4th Ward, where I attended public school number 6, and later I attended high school at Passaic County Tech. From Tech, I went on to earn my bachelor's degree in finance from the University of Connecticut, and later on I received my master's in business administration from the University of Hartford. I'm currently in my 3rd year at Rutgers Law School. I have 11 years of corporate experience in financial reporting, consulting, and currently I'm a risk manager for a company called Rico USA. I am a trustee with the St. Luke Baptist Church, again over in the 4th Ward, where I am also a youth leader. I'm the treasurer of the St. Luke Community Development Center, which operates an after-school program, women's transitional house, a computer lab, literacy projects, and this summer we hope to revamp the Freedom School. I am a homeowner here in the city of Patterson on the same block that I grew up on. So I very much understand the concerns that many of you have about the financial instability that we have faced here in the city, and I'm personally invested in changing the direction in that area. I also understand firsthand the quality of life concerns that the drugs and the violence that have plagued our city. I believe that the city is at a crossroads. It is a place where many of the residents are tired of empty promises, sound bites, corruption, and waiting for things to get better. Many residents have already decided to vote with their feet and leave this city in hopes of a safer, cleaner, more affordable, and less frustrating environment. Others have been forced out due to the inability to keep up with tax burdens that become heavier and heavier every year. As costs increase, many are asking where are the services and why their quality of life continues to decrease. While we all have our individual lives and our unique concerns, no one should have to leave where they're from in order to live a better life. I believe that the path forward of this city is to make the city safer, make it cleaner, and as a result, make it more desirable for both residents and visitors that come into the city. We need to make this place a place where our parks are clean, and those places are safer for children to play. A place where our neighborhoods are walkable, and where we have a peace of mind that we are safe at home. A place where we don't have to dodge potholes all the time or put bars on our windows when we go to sleep at night. Only then can we drive economic development, which leads to employment, investment, higher property values, and ultimately more revenue for the city to provide the services that we so desperately want and need. In the meantime, we need to better manage what we have and focus our resources in putting us on the right path for the future. The City Council's role is to make the laws and approve the budget to help further the goals of the city. That budget is where we set the direction of the city, and we must elect people who have the necessary skills and experience in order to do so. For every idea that's been put forward throughout the months leading up to this election, and that you've heard over the last couple of days, and I'm sure that you'll hear today, you need to ask yourselves, who is going to pay for some of the things that are discussed? Are these actual plans? Or are these things that just sound good? Do the people who are putting these things forward have the actual experience necessary to order to say some of the things that they're saying? I look forward to the discussion with the other candidates here tonight. My name is Davon Roberts. I'm 14B on your ballot. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Roberts. We will now have our third candidate, Mr. Juan Santiago. Will you please begin your opening remarks, Mr. Santiago?
Good afternoon. Thank you for the opportunity, Madam Clerk and Council President Ruby Cotton. Thank you very much. And for the ladies that are sitting back there, phenomenal job you ladies be doing in the office. I've been seeing that. And credit should be given where credit is due. My name is Juan Santiago. I've been working for the City of Patterson for over 33 years. Passaic County Sheriff for over 10 years. I started as security. From security, I went to investigator, but I did patrol, and then I got promoted to narcotics. I'm a father of 11, 7 children, 7 girls, really. Father of 11, 7 girls, 4 boys, 6 grandchildren. And life just doesn't stop. It continues going. I'm proud that for the age of me being 53, my kids got me running and my grandbabies all over the place. I worked in a juvenile detention facility. I was a juvenile detention officer. I was elected to the school board 3 times. Vice president 2 times, president of the board 1 time. The reason that I'm running is because everybody in this city is just totally fed up. I'm fed up. This election is a very, very, very high-profile election. Everybody's watching this. We had numerous individuals that got picked up, numerous individuals that have gone to jail, and from one title, now they became cooks in the jail. That's what they're doing. They're cooking in the jail. And I believe, and I can't say any names, but we still have more. We still have more in different offices that are doing the same thing because they haven't learned their lesson towards what's going on throughout the city. And of course, we have even elected officials that are still doing the same thing. And it's not a female or females. But sooner or later, the light comes out. You can't cover the world with your hand because the truth, one way or the other, is going to come out. We got potholes problems in the city of Patterson, to all fairness to the department, which those are my brothers and my sisters, the lowest pay within the whole state of New Jersey, the lowest pay. But they try to work hard, diligent. With one truck for 6 wards, you really can't get the job done. Some of the administrators that are working within this city, they shouldn't be here any longer. What they should start looking is, they should start looking for another job. Get your resume together. The city of Patterson had enough of you, had enough of this corruption that's going on. Get a job, just get out of here. We have well-qualified people within this city that could fulfill a lot of these jobs. We got well-qualified people here. We need to give people opportunities. Thank you. God bless. Let's move this city forward. Enough is enough.
Thank you, Mr. Santiago. And our 4th candidate that's coming up, Mr. Shelley Thomas, will introduce himself, present his opening remarks. Mr. Thomas.
Yes, thank you. Good afternoon. I first want to thank God for allowing me to be here and bringing me this far. I also want to thank Madam President and Madam Clerk for allowing us into this really sacred space, the City Council chambers. My name is Shelley Thomas. I'm a lifelong resident of Patterson, New Jersey. I'm a community organizer and a proud Patterson public school teacher. I'm 1B on the ballot. I'm first on the ballot. I want to be first on your hearts and minds as you go into the voting booth and make an important decision about who is going to represent you on the City Council. I want to be first on your hearts and minds, just as the children of Patterson and the community is on my mind and my heart every single waking day. I'm deeply committed to protecting our residents and protecting our community through advocacy, education, and legislation. Patterson is a place of so much promise and potential. But when government doesn't put residents first, we see blight and despair. When government doesn't put children first, we see a lack of education and a lack of recreation. Our children and our residents deserve so much more. Our children can't go to school if they're dead. And our young women and men can't go to work if they're in jail. We have community members who have to make this tough decision every single month of whether to pay rent or buy groceries. And in the streets, everyone is asking, where are our leaders? Where is the leadership? And my reply is, right here. The leadership is right here. And I plan to lead again with advocacy, education, and legislation. Legislation. That's something that's so much missing from the City Council. One of the things that I'm a strong advocate for is fair and affordable housing. I deeply believe that housing is a human right. Everyone deserves access to a safe, healthy, and quality home, regardless of their race, creed, income, or zip code. Currently, Patterson is the 2nd highest house burden city in the state of New Jersey. Over 44% of renters in Patterson pay more than half of their income on housing costs and utilities. Who's protecting our residents here in Patterson? I came up with a policy platform to start to move us forward in order to give those types of protections. One, I want to amend our current rent level control board in order to reduce the allowable annual increase. I want to revive the tenant advisory board so that tenants have a place to go and complain about the conditions in their units and their apartments. I also want to provide foreclosure prevention counseling to protect our homeowners, and that will be funded through community block development grants. Patterson should be a place that is thriving. Our children and our residents deserve a community that is safe and thriving. And we can't do that just by talking or just by showing up at different places, but we can only do that through education, by educating our community members, through advocacy and legislation. I commit myself to being an advocate, not just in the streets, but in the boardroom for you, because this is all about you. So please remember me as someone that is going to fight for you day in and day night. I'm your brother, I'm your son, I'm your friend, and I'm here for you. And I'm 1B on the ballot. I'm first on the ballot. My name is Shelley Thomas. Together, we are stronger.
Thank you, Mr. Thomas.